My hip is popping every time I do this. Can you hear it? Probably not. Hello. My hip hurts today. And it's leg day. So, I guess today is leg day for people with hip pain. Oh. So we're warming up the hips. If your hip actually dislocates, you probably don't want to do this. Internal rotation puts you at a risk of dislocating. External, you should be pretty good. Even though mine pops at the external. And popping isn't necessarily bad. Okay. So today, what position can your hip be in with hip impingement? Let me tell you. First, we're going to stretch out the hip flexors right here. Tall kneeling, and take your the bowl of your pelvis, pretend it's a bowl, and you're going to tip it backwards. Whew. And you'll feel this light up. We're stretching up the quads and the hip flexors. When this is really tight, it just exacerbates any hip impingement that you might have. So we want the hip, actually I'll show you in a second. All right, after we stretch it out, the hip joint loves a little bit of flexion, a little bit of abduction, a little bit of external rotation. It's very happy here. It's not happy above 90. So we're not doing deep squats today. I'm actually gonna have my husband thunk my hip really quick. Can you thunk my hip? Okay. You can just leave it on. I'll film you. Okay, he's gonna thunk my hip. So, a little bit of flexion like we just said. A little bit of abduction to the side. A little bit of external rotation. Yeah, right there. Oh, right there. That's good. Oh, yeah. Got it. And he's just gonna gently oscillate. Whew. And we got a little thunk. You can oscillate a little more. Oh my gosh. Flying across the floor. Did you feel a thunk?
Yeah, the first one.
He felt a thunk. It actually feels much better. We finally found the bar after walking circles in the gym. This one may not be the smartest choice of an exercise if you have hip impingement, but I'm used to doing this one regularly, so that's why I'm doing it. Modification that I'm gonna make is gonna make it a little bit more sumo, so my feet are gonna slightly be a little more externally rotated because the open pack position of the hip is a little bit of flexion, a little bit of abduction, a little bit of external rotation. You're gonna know that by the end of this video. So slightly more externally rotated. This is more my warm up, so we're gonna do 10. I can lift a lot of weight, but the one thing I can't do is deal with these things. Like, they're always hard, and it's really annoying. Okay, slightly heavier weight. We're gonna go for 10. Once again, toes slightly out. Quiz question: what's the open pack position of the hip? Slight flexion, slight abduction, slight external rotation. What number am I on? Is this 5? Is this 6? Let's get warm. Now, what does the open chain and closed chain like mean? Because I guess that's good to know. You have the head of your femur. That's this bone. It sits in your acetabulum. It's your pelvis. Acetabulum, pelvis. Open pack means it has the least amount of squishing together. Wait, did I say open or closed? Closed. Yeah, closed, it's more squished together, so you get more impingement, versus open, where it's sitting in nice and happily. So when it's aggravated, that's why you want to hang out in an open pack position. Okay. Not necessarily. He asked if it meant to let your leg dangle. No, I have him pull on it sometimes because that's where you can tolerate traction more. But really, it just means in general, a little bit farther, wider stance, a little farther apart so that you get less hip flexion, if that makes sense. Comment all your little comments. Traction means you're taking the joints and we're separating them. I'm exaggerating. It's not going to actually be this much space in most people, but it does put it into open pack position so that it doesn't hurt as bad. I don't know if I'm allowed to like take my shoes off over here, but I'm hiding in the corner. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, so we're gonna say that I'm allowed. Okay, I have one more set of 5. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Come on. I did it. So, next up we're going to do lateral step downs instead of squats. I already did my first set, hence why I'm out of breath. But this one is basically a single leg squat, but we're limiting your amount of hip flexion. So instead of, squatting all the way down here, the amount of hip flexion that we're getting is like 45 degrees. Basically, we don't want your knee to go like over your hip. So you're going to stand on the top leg, bend that leg until your bottom heel taps the ground, then come back up. So we're not doing this little side tap thing. It's a nice controlled movement, and you should really feel it in your left quad and glutes. And for my hyperextending knee people, this is a great opportunity to work on not letting your knee go past neutral. And I'm doing 10, I don't know what I'm at. 9, 10. Whew, that's a good burn. Oh my gosh. All right, same thing on the other side. You also can do this without a weight. Anytime we're starting this exercise, like when I was first learning it, I would probably just do it on the step, take the little red things away to like 2 to 4 inch height until you're comfortable with the movement. Then you can add weights, and you can add incline. Another thing to be aware of with this one is that your knee is not caving in. For my hypermobile people, if it is, you probably want to go to a lower height. The downside of having a microphone is you can probably hear all of my breathing. I've lost count. That's good. Whew.